Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to welcome Jim O'Heir to the show. You may recognize him from NBC's Parks and Rec, and of course, starring in the new film, The Last Whistle. Thank you so much for being with us, Jim.
Happy to be here. And for those who don't know what goes on, this is a big old, there's a lot going on here. You do this every day.
Live.
God
5
bless
days
you
a week.
guys. I mean, people, there's a lot going on.
We love your work.
Oh, thank you.
You are just an amazing human being.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
Your new movie, I was crying at the trailer. It's very touching. It's going to be huge.
Yeah,
so many
it's
people can
very
relate.
sweet. It's called The Last Whistle, and it's an indie film. And at this point in my career, thankfully, I get a lot of offers to do stuff. I read this script, and it was a no-brainer. Because not only is it I could tell it was going to be a powerful film. It's a football film, so guys are going to be loving the football aspects of it. But it's also, basically the story is there's this coach who works his team really hard, and they're good and they love him. But one day maybe he worked them too hard, and one of the kids drops on the field. And there is this thing called hypertrophic myocardia, also known as sudden cardiac arrest. And it can be brought on by heat stroke, but it's kind of one of these silent potential killers. And in the film, this coach, he's got a good heart, but he did make a mistake that day, and he did work them hard. And then the repercussions of that, because this kid's got a mom and he's got a town, and people have their opinions. I play the guy who runs the local bar, and I'm kind of at the beginning, kind of the voice of reason. But then even I then choose a side. And so it's really interesting, but it's very heartwarming. It is a redemption film, but some stuff goes on at the end that you're pulling out the tissues.
Get your tissues right now, because
It's
we're
a
going to
tough
have a
one.
look at the trailer.
Well, what do you say? Big time football coach in my ball. Heard about that kid. Heard it was your fault.
The weakest link can break us.
Tragedy this week as local football player dies suddenly on the practice field.
He's gone because you pushed him too hard.
I hadn't seen anybody puke yet. Let's go.
A player dies from physical stress because of your punishment sprints.
You think it was my fault?
I think that I have never seen you like this, okay?
This game, it is not near as big as what you have already overcome. You are part of a team, and that's going to stay with you forever. I promise you that. I'm here to tell you right now, I love each and every one of you.
So beautiful.
Yeah, and I have to jump in right now, just again, being reminded by that trailer. Brad Leland plays the coach. It's a performance you have to see. He's amazing. The kid who plays the kid again, I saw it last night for the first time.
Wow.
I see, you shoot a film, you never know what's going to happen. We shot it in Fort Worth, Texas, and it was with this young crew, and right away I'm like, oh, this will be interesting. Well, it was amazing because it was this young crew who were on top of their game already, a bunch of USC grads, and I mean, they put it together. And Brad, when you're the lead like that, you're running the show, you're setting the tone, and he set just a lovely tone in his performance. And there's a real football coach in there named Les Miles, and he was great for a guy who had never really been in this world before. So it was an amazing experience. And Rob Smatt, who directed it and wrote it, God bless.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So in there it says the weakest link can break us. And I think that as a culture, we're learning that actually the weakest link, we all will go down if we don't help the weakest link.
Absolutely.
So how has that helped you in your
well, that's life in general. I totally agree with you. That is life in general. Because, and they always say, even in school, kids, well, your class can only advance as fast as the slowest student can. Well, no, help that slowest student. And in this case, it is a different situation. This hypertrophic myocardia, trophic, I think is the word, is undetectable unless you're looking for it. So he was working because he was mad. They had done some stuff to anger the coach, and they were working him, and he was physically starting to slow down. And it should have been seen. But what we also learned, we at the premiere last night, we did a Q&A, and they had these cardiac surgeons there. They said what people do when they see this, and it happens in the movie, you just kind of stand back, you don't know what to do. Immediately, if someone goes down, start chest compressions. And it doesn't have to be the mouth stuff anymore, that's kind of old news. Chest compressions to staying alive, to the beat. Do. And also, they really believe there should be defibrillators everywhere. Like, we should have one here, because look at me, I could go down at any second. So you should be able to pound my chest. No, but it was really interesting to hear that from them. And then I mentioned you guys earlier, he pointed to the crowd, one of the cardiologists, and he said, the odds are someone in this audience has this condition. That was eye-opening.
Absolutely.
So who knows? So it's not rare.
The film is
Scary.
obviously a story of resilience. You've had
Absolutely.
a career of success after success, but that also comes with a lot of rejection. Naturally, it's Hollywood.
So much.
I mean, how did you remain resilient to become the star that you are?
You're so right about the rejection. The numbers are, if you book 10% of your auditions, you're doing well, which means 90% of the time you're being told, oh no, you're either not good enough, not good looking enough, not talented, whatever the reasons may be. So I'm very, very blessed. Parks and Recreation kind of changed everything for me. I've always been a working actor, very blessed with that. But because of Parks, we get a lot of offers now. There's not as much auditioning. There's not as much having to get into the room and fight for it, as much as there are phone calls. But I have, and I always say, my reps all know this, I will fight for a job. I will, good. I fought for it a couple of years ago. I ended up doing a Soderbergh film, Steven Soderbergh, Logan Lucky, and I fought for that job. Because at first, I'm like, well, they're not doing offers. Well, get me in the room. Get me in the room. So I'm still, it's my passion. So I can't, and believe me, I've been told terrible things. You're too fat for this, or you're too old for this, but you have to let it slide off. Consider the source, and just, the joke I always say, I love acting so much that if I was on the way to an audition, and a call came in and someone said, oh, dude, you just won like the $2 billion lottery. I'd be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. But I'll call you back after this audition. That would be a no-brainer for me. I would be like, well, but I've already got my head in I have to do this audition. So
I love that.
It's in here.
You say that if you love what you do, you never work.
Never. It's my favorite saying that I don't know who said it, but I repeat it all the time. If you love what you do, you never worked a day in your life. I moved here August 4th. 1994. It'll be 25 years in August. I've never worked a day since then.
I love that.
What do you love most about what you do?
It just energizes me. Sets energize me. Creative energizes me. Crews energize me. Fellow actors who, when you're in a scene with an actor, and for me, acting is this. It's this. And when you connect, there is a feeling. I don't. It's my drug. I don't do other stuff. But when you connect with another actor, whether it be in a comedy or a drama, ooh, that just gives me the feels. So and I'm always searching it. I'm always, and I've been very blessed to work with actors who bring that every single day.
Is there a practice you have to kind of get tapped into that for yourself so you can deliver?
It's much easier if the other person is there already. I have done shows, and I'm not going to say what this was, but I recently did something. It was the theater piece, and the actor kept looking at my forehead. Now, that is very disconcerting. like if we were talking right now and I never looked in your eyes.
Right.
Acting is connecting and seeing and feeling and blah, blah, and that was a tough run because he just couldn't do it. And that made me crazy.
Well, we are crazy about The Last Whistle, and we are so looking forward. Please tell everyone where they can find the film and follow your
They can find it, but yell it out. iTunes, Amazon.
10 theaters right now.
10 theaters right now. The director, Rob Smad, is in Riverside right now, this early in the morning at a screening. So it's out there. Yes. Yes.
So exciting. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you. You guys are
really
awesome.
grateful for you. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.